To the podcast, hablemos de lo nuevo. For the G's, by the G's, que pasa en el terreno. Vienen jugadores y se van, traiga lo nuevo. A huevo. Doesn't matter where you from. Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua. Todo mi latino, come and listen for an hour. TikTok, que traemos lo que quiere. Todo lo que pasa dentro y fuera de las redes. Really? You don't know what it is. Reportamos con la lupa what we see at the digs. En las buenas y en las malas yo diré la verdad. Si cometen un error o tienen habilidad, la calidad del rival cuando viene a jugar. Facts. Yo no me muerdo la lengua. Got love for the crest in the city I came from. Los campeones de campeones y con copas mi race. No empezamos el programa, soy la voz de LA One. Soy la voz de LA One. Love. Yeah.
Hello, hola, and buenas to all you LA Galaxy fans out there, wherever you may be. May you be feeling great, because I know Ananda and I am. Man, it was a weekend. I am Rob Halone, one of your co-hosts as always, and you can find my work on Extra Time Talk and me online at El Escudero de LA. And today, man, we are amped because we're going to be reacting to the Los Angeles Galaxy's monumental 1-0 win over RSL on the road on Saturday, June 23rd. A win that moves LA into tied for first place and snaps Real Salt Lake's 15-match unbeaten run. Most importantly, it gives the Galaxy their first 3-game win streak of the Greg Vanney era. But since I'm here, you know that El Yerno Guapo and El Gitano Perdido, he is here as well. And I know he's feeling amped up. And he was actually telling me to be a believer on Saturday about this game because I was very nervy going into those last minutes. And he said, nah, speaking into existence, here to manifest some more good vibes. My co-host, Anandita Kirana. Papa, thank you for keeping me believing in this one, man.
I mean, what are friends for, right, Papa? But first, I'm going to cheers to this first 3-game win streak under Vanney. So salute to all you guys out there. But I gotta
y'all deserve it.
It's hot. It's hot up in here. It's hot. It's hot, just like this team is right
y'all
now, right?
Deserve it. Ooh,
it is hot up in this. But anyways, guys, wow, what a week, right? What a week.
Yeah.
You know, Rob was not feeling himself because he did go to the Ecuador game, which he'll share about later. So he was feeling a little down, a little negative, big womp womp there, but his LA Galaxy for once pulled through for him, guys. And you know what, man? I don't know about you, but it's funny because when I think about this game, there's so many emotions, man, around this game, around the 3-game winning streak, around, Vanney, the team, we're tied for first, blah, blah, blah. There's so much stuff, right? But more than anything, and this is my one-word reaction, Papa, it's relief, but like not relief in a bad way, like relief that for me to say, you know what? This team's a top team. We're becoming an elite team, and it's the gears are starting to grind. They're starting to show me signs. They're starting to show me little things, which we'll talk about later in this review of a team that can potentially win a chip, right? That whatever that mentality is,
the Bears
are who we thought they were, but the signs are starting to get there. Again, I don't want to get excited, but I think I'm just relieved in the fact that this was a big test for me, man. This was a big, I saw this in the calendar. I was like, you know what? This stretch is going to be really, really tough. We said it, a couple pods ago, this sort of 4 or 5 game stretch is going to be really tough and is going to show what this team's really made of. Holy hell. They've showed me,
so good.
They've showed me quite a bit, Papa, quite a bit.
And under the conditions that they've been doing it too. I mean, 2 of the best players in Riqui, Puig and Gaston Bruggeman, 2 of the most important players. And then a good attacking complementary piece in Johnny Pettis is also out. And they go on this monster week, man. But yes, we're going to get into all of it, into the match proper in a little bit. But you know what, Ananda, you got some housekeeping. And man, I want to get into this game. So we got to get through this.
Yeah. For sure. But as we're doing this, guys, as I'm doing the housekeeping, go ahead and I flashed it up on the screen there. Go ahead and give us your one-word match reaction because I'm going to ask Rob his.
We got one.
This. as well.
Oh, we got a couple actually.
We got a couple. Well, so we'll get to that after the housekeeping. So, guys, you can always block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. And of course, you can find us on all of our socials at La Cuna Galaxiana. And of course, man, we've got lots of people in the chat today. So, guys and gals, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you again for coming back, and we can't wait. We're excited to talk this game with you guys, man. We're really excited to chat with y'all. But if you haven't yet and you do like what you're listening to, please go ahead and give us a shot. Give us that subscribe so you'll know when we go on live, just like we are now, and you'll know when we'll have amazing guests on as well. Rob is, the showrunner of the show, so he is hard at work at that. So we will announce those. Follow us on our socials and keep it locked in with us, guys. And go ahead and give us that subscribe. And also, go ahead and like this video before we forget. Where are my VP or Prime Ministers of likes out there? Go ahead and hit those like button, guys, and smash them up. And of course, as Rob always says, put someone on, your tios, your tias, your abuelitas, your abuelita, whoever, man. If you want to spread some good vibes like this Galaxy team right now on this 3-game winning streak, that's what you want to do right there. Go ahead and share this pod out. And of course, papá, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o muy buenas noches en esta ocasión, y bienvenidos a otro capítulo de La Cuna Galaxiana. That one-word match reaction, papá. Let's hear it.
Aquí vamos. Yeah, you know what? There was a big sense of relief. I'm not going to say that one was mine because you already kind of took that one. But now it's just like I guess realization is what I'm going to say. Realization in the fact that this team can win with all those conditions. Like there was a Twitter take out there that was like, well, you guys done did it now because I saw what you guys can do now, and now that's what I'm going to expect from you, right? So I realized that all the questions that I had about this team coming into the year, they were answered, especially through this stretch. We know who they are. We know what to expect from them. And then you throw in the fact that they didn't have the 2 complementary pieces, those 2 very important players. And this team should go up even further notch. Plus, all the rumored, incomings, supposedly. So we should be getting a team that is very, very capable to play with anybody in MLS on their day. And you know what? I mean, F it. I mean, it's at this point, it's MLS Cup or bust. I mean, they've shown that they're capable. I mean, everyone was saying RSL as a potential MLS Cup finalist. I mean, they took 4 of 6.
Right, Raul G said capable. There it is.
Raul G, una palabra, capable. Absolutely. MH, one-word reaction, momentum. Yes, let's keep it going. Let's keep the train rolling. Ramiz's one-word, Gary. Gambrone says radness. Yes, I feel it in my spirit too. Radness. He done miracles on me for damn sure. So yeah, man. Ananda, it's that realization of what they can do. But
I like it.
Before we go any further, I need to shout out the homie and the co-host Ananda and friend of the show, El Profe Alex Ruiz, because they did a little series called Los Gatácticos where they break down this man, Gabriel Peck, that's going off right now, that scored the game winner against RSL, that brought your LA Galaxy and tied first. They broke him down so much, so good. Yeah, all the taxes in there for you in that video with El Profe, Alex Ruiz. Ananda, what was your favorite part of doing that video with El Profe? I mean, we get to play some Liga G with them, but you got to break down, one of the most exciting players on the Galaxy with El Profe. What was that like?
Oh, it was fun, man. Just the prepping and just the collaboration with Alex. Obviously, Alex and I, we can geek out on numbers and tactics and all that stuff all day, right? So it's stuff that we've kind of talked about in passing, really, like, when we're playing FIFA or when we're just hanging out or if we see each other, right, kind of thing. And it was just fun to bust out all the footage, get all those charts and graphs and numbers and kind of just break down mathematically, like what this guy is and what he's capable of, right? And it's just fun to see. Look, of course, like it's an ego boost for everyone, but it's just fun to see how the things that we're noticing and the things that he can improve on, Greg Vanney and the team and the coaching staff and the rest of the team are helping him exploit his talents. And man, his talents are on full display now. And Baba, we've got a real player on our hands. So guys, go ahead and do check that out. This you don't have to go far. the link is in the description below. So go ahead and check that out when you guys can. But no, super, super fun. And, spoiler, we are working on another one. Just kind of working around you can expect that in the next, I would say, couple weeks. We've got a topic that we're banding around. So, but of course, follow us on our socials and you will be abreast of that. Yep.
Watch out for Los Gatácticos episode 2. And going into these shout outs here, big shout outs. No, this one's a big one, y'all, because the LA Galaxy Academy have been out there representing the Galaxy badge and the crest big time. Shout out to them. They were the first club ever to have 2 age groups make the championship of a tournament, the MLS Next Cup, to be exact, in a single season. The U15s, they played Chicago Fire in the final. They went up 1-0 in the 11th minute before they conceding 3 straight times in Chicago, where it would end 3-1. However, congratulations to them for making the final, for showing everybody what the future of the Galaxy looks like. And then their big brothers, the U17s, first off, they got that rematch with Philly Union in the semifinal. It was another tough battle against the Philly Union. They went to extra time, couldn't separate them. They went to penalties, and that's where your U17s were finally able to take out the Philly Union. They finally avenged that loss in the MLS Generation Next Cup. And then they made that final, or it was kind of breezy after that, after taking out Philly Union with respect to their opponent. They took out Charlotte FC 4-1. Ruben Ramos had a hat trick. He went off. Some people are saying that's exactly why he is, floating around the Galaxy first team. They are the second club in MLS Next history to win consecutive MLS Next Cup titles in the same age group. So just the last tournament, the U17s did it again. But Ruben Ramos was kind of incredible because he had 8 tournament goals in less than 350 minutes played. He was a tournament top scorer, so he got the golden boot in the tournament, and he didn't really play all that much. Other Galaxy players who shone in this one, we had best goalkeeper presented by Allstate, Owen Pratt. Yes, and they put that in every documentation, presented by whoever it's presented by. So Owen Pratt in the last final against the Philly Union, he had 2 penalty saves. He finally gets the vengeance there on Philly Union by being named goalkeeper of the tournament for getting another couple saves there in the final. Center back Pepe Magana, who also scored for the Galaxy in the final, was named tournament MVP. Jose Pepe Magana, one to watch for. He was, one of the rocks of the defense in this tournament. And then congratulations to U17 head coach Sean Securius, who was the one who led this team to back-to-back MLS Next Cup championships. So congratulations to the Academy. Ananda, this is, I've talked about this a bunch of times, how there should be like a continuity from the Academy all the way up to the first team. Judge Sophie, shout out Judge Sophie. She spoke about it last year. What is the philosophy of this team? What is the identity of this team? And they're laying that down from the Academy up. I love to see this, man. I mean, especially you see someone like Ruben Ramos, bag 8 goals in 350 minutes, man. Got to do some big things for his confidence.
Yeah, and not only that, Rob, but we've kind of started showing a little bit of a pathway of, if they are not cut for the first team, or if they can't make the first team, we are sending them to good homes and other places where they can develop their career, right? So it's I think it's a good all around. I think it's the signal of a healthy organization, and an organization that cares not only about like winning, but developing young talent and taking care of their talent. So that's really good to see as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, congratulations to the U17s, who, whether they make the first team with the Galaxy, like Ananda said, or we send them off to good homes, they are coming up in the right kind of identity and philosophy, and we're seeing it right now because these teams are winning tournaments. Ananda, this one especially for you. This next one is especially for you. It is Matt Turner's birthday. Happy birthday to U.S. men's national team goalkeeper and former Arsenal keeper Matt Turner. I saw this man and I was like, oh, this is making on his day. This is Gunner adjacent, not really Gunner related anymore, but Gunner adjacent. So that there don't ever say I never did anything for you. There's that.
A good day for our Arsenal keepers all around. So David Raya got his cap today for Spain. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well.
Yay. Shout out to all my Salvadorans who will be having their first Heritage Night at the Angels on June 30th. Eric Zavaleta will be throwing out the first pitch. After, we'll be there slinging their wonderful pupusas. And if you get a ticket through people, like after you get entrance into the Heritage Village, which features DJs and a special cumbia band, and you'll also get a special Angels/Salvadorian Heritage jersey. Hit them up for more information about this. Go ahead and get out to this. This looks fun as hell. You know what? I mean, I'm not Salvadorian and I'm not really that much of an Angels fan, but if I was an Angels fan, I would just, go all up in there because there's probably going to be some bomb food and on it. And you know what? Like, support Eric Zavaleta on this one, So we brought this one to you a couple of times, guys. Just this weekend, a couple days away, ACB is going on an overnight bus trip, leaving on June 29th, returning on June 30th, and that is for the purpose of going down to San Jose, Sanford Stadium to be exact, and supporting their LA Galaxy in the next edition, 101st to be exact, of El Cali Clásico, which is going down just this weekend. Galaxy have a prime opportunity to make it 4 in a row, Ananda. But yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Speaking of ACB, they're doing another fundraiser this month in June for the CRSELA, Chick Rockers Southeast Los Angeles, which is an organization committed to working with at-risk trans youth in Southeast Los Angeles. Guys, hit the ACB up, hit their socials up for more information on how to get to the Amazon wish list, which you can donate to. Go ahead and just show people, not only do you support this team, but you're doing good in the community. Go ahead and get out there, guys. We want to shout out the homie Eddie Nags, friend of the show, who's been on this show before, and we loved having him. And shout out to all the Nag boys. Eddie Nags, Ananda, he started a safe space for those who are going through a self-improvement journey and living in sobriety called Sobria G. On their banner on Twitter, it says, "Stay clear-headed and loud. Hang out with fellow LA Galaxy sober fans, where our passion is the only thing intoxicating. Cheer, chant, and celebrate without alcohol." And then that's their handle is at Sobrie, SOBRIE_G. Hit them up for more info on Hangouts. It looks like the first one is going to be on July 4th. Man, this is really cool. It's great to see like a safe space or a comforting space for every facet of the LA Galaxy community. I know that Eddie Nags got a lot of love and a lot of support and a lot of people saying like, yes, this is exactly what I was looking for, something that like this, like that I needed. So congrats to Eddie Nags, for putting out another beautiful part of this LA Galaxy community. Once we get more information, we'll shoot it down to you. Ananda, you were going to say something?
No. I was just thinking to myself that this is what a good thing he did, man. And just like big shout out to you, Eddie. Just putting yourself out there, and just recognizing that story. And then and sharing your story and he's also helping a lot of people that are going through the same thing. So big shout out to you. And this is what the community is all about. So Godspeed, hopefully, with this venture.
Yeah, man. And it takes a lot of courage, to stand up and be like, look, this was something that I was dealing with. And, I want to help other people that are dealing with this as well. And so, yeah, man, I mean, that's what it's about, lifting other people up when you can, so shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's going to be involved with that group. Man, if we can do anything to help out, let us know. Like I said, another part of the beautiful community. And speaking of that beautiful community, the G's Run LA are doing their 5K on July 6th at Absolution Brew. They are capping that at 96 participants. I've heard that they are more than half full now. They're capping that, like I said. So go out there and sign up soon. Each participant will receive a finisher's ribbon, a drink ticket, and a mug. Just a couple of days before that, guys, you do have El Tráfico at the Rose Bowl, which is shaping up to be a spicy affair for sure. Both Los Angeles teams are tied for first at the moment with just one match day away from that game. Ananda, it's going to be a cracker, man. This is man, it's the energy is going to be intense. It's going to be lovely. Yep. We have let you know, guys, if you don't want to shell out $60 on the event day at the Rose Bowl, go ahead and try to get some parking in advance for $50, or take the shuttle from Parsons campus, where you can pay $30 in that lot and then take over the shuttle for free. If you're planning to tailgate at the event, the gates open at 1:30 p.m. Commemorative posters will be distributed to the first 25K guests inside the gates. Get there so you can get your poster. Get there so you can hang out with your fellow G's, and get there, man, so you can enjoy the festivities. Last year, the energy was this electric, Ananda. I know you had a great time last year. You know, you were hanging out. You were hanging out with the homies, walking around, and you know, it's just. I mean, there's been a lot of El Tráficos, but this one was special. And everybody was saying last year how it should become a tradition, and it looks like it's gonna be.
Yeah, and the buildup for this game is just crazy. I think this is going to be, spoiler alert for when we do the preview. I think this is going to be one of the most meaningful, other than the playoff games, obviously, but probably the most meaningful regular season El Tráfico we've had in recent history, I would say, just based off of where both teams are in terms of what is on the line for this game. It's going to be massive. So can't wait to do the preview for that. And of course, we will let you guys know when that drops.
I mean, imagine this one is already big, and there's still quite a bit of season left. Imagine what the El Tráfico on September 14th is going to be like if both clubs are similarly placed in the table. This is what it's about. This is what El Tráfico should be like with these stakes this high. I love it. But first, the Galaxy need to get through San Jose. Of course, you guys know where to find us on Thursday. We'll be here bringing you that preview. But before we even think about that, back to the shoutouts here. Liga G is starting season 14. We've told you guys about this. If you haven't signed up, if you're at all interested, if you just kind of like want more information, hit up the commish, Papusa Salada. He'll tell you everything you need to know, and answer any questions. But really, it's been one of the funnest things that I've ever taken part of. I mean, just last night we were playing with Lacuna Matata and having a lot of fun and having a lot of laughs. And so shout out to all those boys. We are gearing up for the season. It'll be the second season for Lacuna Matata. And like El Prophet Alex says, we are going to be a problem. So check us out. Ananda, I hope this isn't one of those things that like somebody clips later and when we weren't a problem and they're like, oh, look at this clip. We are going to be a problem. And I'm like, oh, that's sad. We weren't a problem. But
it is what it is. Hey, that extra motivation for the team. So there you go.
Exactly. Let's go, guys.
Not be laughing stock.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, we weren't last place last season. All I want is progression. I want to make those playoffs this year. Let's go.
Hey, really quick.
We got it.
Eddie Nags in the chat, man. Hey, so anything you need, Eddie, we're there for you, man. And good stuff. So show him some love, guys.
Hey, man. Hey, for sure, Eddie. You keep doing you, man. Keep making those beautiful spaces for all those beautiful G's out there, guys. Bring you a something not G related, but definitely it's a summer of soccer here in the United States and really like all over the world. The Copa America is going on right now. It kicked off last Thursday. We told you about that. Argentina, taking out Canada. Some more matches have gone down since then. Of course, you had the next day, Peru and Chile facing off. That one ended in a 0-0 draw. On Sunday, you had the apologies, Ananda. I jumped the gun here. Today's matches were Colombia and Paraguay, and then Brazil and Costa Rica. Colombia and Paraguay ended up 2-1, and unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see the end of the Brazil-Costa Rica game. So anybody in the chat that has that scoreline, go ahead and let us know, and we'll shout it out here. Brazil and Costa Rica also kicked off at 6 p.m. tonight here in Los Angeles. So hopefully some of you guys were out at that game and enjoying yourself. And then now I think we will come to Sunday's match.
0-0 draw, Robert, at full time for the Brazil Costa Rica. Wow, that's a shocker.
Wow, yeah, that is crazy. A 0-0. Well, one that wasn't a shocker was the USA taking out Bolivia. I mean, Bolivia is como un bom menino with respect to them, and you know what? Like, I think even they would say like they're coming to get experience in this tournament for their younger generation, and you know they folded quite quick. The USA put on a good display against them, 2-0 goals by Pulisic and Balogun, and then the day's other match was Uruguay 3, Panama 1. El Loco Bielsa just doing his thing on another national team, and you know, just making them play real well, like you would expect from a Bielsa side. So congratulations to Uruguay. And then I don't even want to talk about you know, the Saturday matches, Ananda.
But I guess we're gonna have to. Yeah.
But I suppose I have
to,
right?
You covered it.
Yeah, but I suppose I have to, right? So the second game of the day was a spirited affair. Mexico 1, Jamaica 0. Jamaica actually had a goal waved off, you know, very correctly so. The Jamaican player was, you know, offside, but they dreamt for just a moment of taking down Mexico in this first match, and really, like, it was pretty even here. Sidebar, Ananda, I've been seeing pictures of the Mexican national team out there just like hanging out, and people are really upset. Like, and I'm gonna preface this with saying that I am no better. However, I am not a professional footballer, but these vatos are out there eating tacos at the taco truck and like drinking Coke and eating chips, and they like putting pictures out there of just like them eating like just like the most horrible junk for a footballer. And again, I eat the most horrible junk for a footballer too, but I am not a footballer. So, yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, you know, like I know that the Ecuadorian players have been eating just like a lean diet. However, it did not help them, as they really just got shocked by Venezuela, who beat them for the first time in an international tournament. And this one really turned Ananda when Captain Ener Valencia got sent off for a high boot. I believe it was the 22nd minute, and after that, it was you know, very hard for Ecuador to maintain. They did go up through Jeremy Sarmiento in the 40th minute. It was an incredible goal, letting Ecuadorians everywhere dream for just a moment. You know, 40th minute, they go into the second half still 1-up, and then it just kind of all comes apart. They fall asleep on defense several times, and they give up 2 goals in 12 minutes of Venezuela to get taken out on the first match day. All is not lost. You know, I suppose there is hope, Ananda. This team can go ahead and take the next 2 matches and still qualify. However, you know, things being the way they are, and I'm just going to put it out there. I did call before the tournament started that I did not think that Ecuador was going to make it out of the group. I want to be wrong. However, this result lets me know that I was probably more on the nose that I wanted to be. So Ecuador gets beaten on the first match day 2-1, but it was a beautiful experience, Ananda. I mean, I got to go there. I got to be there. I got to see, you know, the national anthem with my parents and with my wife, and see them enjoy that, and see the pride swell in all the hearts of all the Ecuadorians everywhere. I got to see, you know, little children wave the flag of Ecuador, and it was lovely until the 22nd minute when Enner got red carded. But they need to go back and collect themselves, and now they have an opportunity to play Jamaica and rectify the wrongs of yesterday with the win against Jamaica on Wednesday in Las Vegas. So vamos Ecuador, tú puedes la tri. I will be there, of course, and let's see what they can do. Vamos Ecuador. And then Ananda, I know that it wasn't so bad for you as it was for me. Of course, guys, Ask Copa America is going on. Euro 2024 is also happening. Sunday's results: Switzerland tie Germany 1-1. Dortmund striker Nicholas Füllkrug scored the injury time equalizer, and then Hungary eliminated Scotland from the tournament by winning 1-0 in that match. Germany takes first in that group. Switzerland takes second in that group. And Hungary has a small chance of advancing on 3 points still. And then today's matches, which, of course, my boy Ananda was all over because his La Furia Roja was playing. They were taking on Kobe Cosmo's Albania. I don't know if you guys know, but Kobe Cosmo is Albanian. So in that match, La Furia, by a minimum scoreline, 1-0. They get it, Ananda. Go ahead and let us know about that Spain match. What was that like?
It was, I mean, they'd already pretty much secured the group, right? Or at least secured the knockout round. So 11 changes, man. Or sorry, 10 out of 11 changes, including, like I said, Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya. But I mean, 11 changes. You know, I was about to say from these early games, man, the top three teams right now in the tournament are Germany 1, Spain A team 2, and Spain B team 3. Because holy hell, like their B team looked just as good as the A team.
They looked great.
This should have been like 2-0, 3-0, even 4-0.
Yeah.
You know, we were just toying with them essentially. But no, I mean, Germany 1, Spain 2. I think those are the two clear sort of front runners in this tournament so far. Spain's going to advance in first. Italy, wow, Italy, what a game that one.
That one was crazy.
Minute,
last kick of the match
for Croatia. Yeah, to keep the Italians alive in the tournament. Italians have a history of doing this in big tournaments, and they pull out another rabbit out of the hat. But pretty crazy. But yeah, and so for the next round, I think Switzerland's going to play Italy in the round of 16. I think Croatia, or sorry, not Croatia, but Spain's going to wait for the other sort of matches. But, you know, Rob, it started getting me thinking, like, of course, you know, going back to the Galaxies, we're going to preview this match here in a second. You know, I've actually received some messages or people have hit me up and asking, you know, why you seem like a Spain fan. Like, why is Riqui? Why is this guy not on the Spain team? Look at how young he is, by the way, there, Papa. Look at that. A young Riqui Rocket with the hair.
He's still
already.
A young Riqui Rocket.
Yeah, you could tell he's a little younger in that picture. But it's really interesting, Papa. I really looked at this, and there's a lot of reasons why he's not on this team. I mean, number one, look at the midfielders he's competing with, right? Pedri, Gavi. Interestingly enough, those are the guys that pretty much pushed him out of his place in Barcelona at the time, right? You've got youngins as well, like Fermin Lopez, who can play as attacking mid, even on the wing as well. Dani Olmo, who is fantastic today. And Fabian Ruiz, who me, man, he's one of the best number 8s right now in the tournament. So you're not going to get on top of that guy. But here's an interesting one for you, Robert. Riqui actually has no caps for La Seleccion, the number 1 team. And he only has 3 appearances in the under 21 team, who was coached by current boss Luis de la Fuente. And in 2020, De la Fuente actually cut him. He did not choose him after those 3 caps. He chose the likes of Pedri over Riqui Rocket. So I think there's a lot of things going on in that team. The other thing, too, is historically, the Spanish national team has always favored players in Europe. That's always been the case. When is the last time you've seen a Spanish player not playing in the top league in Europe? So, I mean, look, the talent is undeniable, Riqui Puig. I mean, I've even heard someone say that behind Messi, he's the second most talented player in MLS. I wouldn't go that far, maybe, but he's up there. He's up there in the conversation talent-wise, right? But in terms of going back to La Seleccion, I don't think he's going to anytime soon. again, for those reasons that I listed. But and you know,
I'm okay with that.
maybe this is why he's trying to use eventually, whether people may like it or not, he's trying to use MLS obviously to revamp his career. Xavi at that time ousted him, and he was not in a good place at that time of his career. So he's using the Galaxy and MLS to rejuvenate his career and help him get back on track. And if he wants to get on La Seleccion, I think his only pathway there is Europe. But we don't know what his ambitions are. That's going to be an interesting storyline for you guys to watch out there. But yeah, so that's sort of my like inside investigation on why Riqui's not going to get on the national team anytime soon.
So he's never represented the senior Spanish national team.
Nunca, Baba, nunca.
And and he's been here how long? Two. This is his.
We signed him in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, right?
What's that rule where like after a certain amount of years they can like switch allegiance and play for the U.S. men's national team?
Oh, well, he has to get like, there's a lot of documentation involved in that, right? Anyways, it's fine. There you go. Gregorio Berhalter, call him up.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, man. I mean,
yeah.
He probably knows that the Spanish national team is going to be hard.
Oh yeah.
Guy like Riqui wants to play, man. So if the U.S. men's national team gives him an avenue, why not? I mean, Lucho Acosta's being looked at. I mean, they're trying to make that happen. So why not?
Good point.
Why not Riqui? You know, why not Riqui?
Yeah.
But I know that your wifey, his prima rather, you know, probably would say that he's such a proud Catalan that you know. It was already hard for him to play for Spain, much less another national team that is not Catalonia. So,
yeah.
But one can only dream, right? Can you imagine? You know, Pulisic and Riqui Puig running in that team together? That'd be crazy, right?
It's gonna be an interesting one to watch. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, man. Just looking into it. So there you go, guys.
Well, you know, if it ever does happen, it was said here first. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, letting you guys know about VCFC. Unfortunately, I have to let you know about a loss for the former Galaxy 2 VCFC. Their last match was a loss at home at the Willie Roll, 3-2 against Vancouver Whitecaps 2. That happened on Sunday, June 23rd. However, they're still third in the standings. They did not lose any ground. They have a 6-4-4 record on 26 points. But a little worrying, they have not won in their last 3 matches. So even though they have not slipped in the standings, they have not won. And so that needs to be looked at here. Next up for them, they are on the road versus the Town FC on Sunday, June 30th. And that will be going down at 5 p.m. So go ahead and check out VCFC next time they are at home. I hear that the Willie Roll is a great time. Really quick before we go any further, shout out to everybody in the chat. We see you out there. We love you. Man, big corazones para todos ustedes. Los queremos mucho. And apparently y'all love each other too, because you guys are going out there hardcore and seeing each other at the Galaxy Games hardcore, because MLS has announced a 12% increase in attendance from 2023. Oh, Ananda, I love this Don Garber picture.
You always put this one up.
I love it. I love this one. This and Raquinho should be like in every pod. I don't care, man. Just like we'll make up a reason for them to be. You know, we'll just be like, hey, in this segment, Don Garber fights Raquinho. I don't care. They got to be here. Anyway, guys, this year. Not only has MLS announced a 12% increase in attendance for the same point in 2023, but the LA Galaxy is actually up in attendance 13.1% compared to the same date in 2023. In 2023, they were averaging 20,585 people per match. And in 2024, they're averaging 23,284 per match. So it's a nice increase here. I mean, 3,000 heads is 3,000 heads. It would be great if we could have that closer to the sellout, which is around 27.5. But you know what? Slowly but surely, it was about a decade of mismanagement. So they're not going to come back overnight, Ananda, until Greg's got that 4-game win streak and a 5-game win streak, and then that turns into a trophy. Who knows? But anyway, I thought it was great to see that Galaxy fans are getting out there with each other at the matches, and we see the hard numbers right here, man. And even though they weren't able to get together this weekend because it was an away match, we know that there was a lot of watch parties out there for this LA Galaxy RSL match, in which LA Galaxy, they did their thing. They took care of business. So what do you say? Should we break into it?
Let's do it. I mean, first, let's I know you've got some we wanted to take a pulse on, because honestly we could have just done this pod just based off of all the reactions that were out there, because Rob, we went through all of them, and
it was crazy.
It was crazy. So why don't we go through those, Baba, because those I think will set the mood, set the stage for what we're going to talk about here.
Yeah, man. Well, hit it. I'll just read them off as you go. Vanney Muse, he's now Vanney Muse because of this tweet right here. At Class Trend said, reminder, if the LA Galaxy win 3 straight with a W over RSL tonight, I will become the Greg Vanney Muse. And true to word, now Vanney Muse at Class Trends. Boom, there we go. Chris Tucker, who shout out to him, was so on fire about the win that said he was going to bring back the squadcast this week. I hope he does. I hope I see that squadcast this week. Really quick, I mean, like when I started getting into like Galaxy podcasts, I mean, Tucker and the squadcast was like one of my very, very favorite ones. And shout out to him, because very, very early days I asked him, how should I do this? How should I do that? So shout out to him for always being available for that. But he says, take that all day. And he's referring to the first half here. Take that all day. Greg managing to try and sneak one late and getting to the break without conceding is a big part of that. Paintsil hasn't really shown up yet. And if we can activate on him and Peck in the second half, we could steal this halftime end of the match. Tucker Lepley, yes, again, he says. Let's real quick take that one. Take that one. And look at it real quick. In the first half, of course, guys, the first half had that collision between Martin Cáceres and Chicho Arango, but the Galaxy were able to get to the first half 0-0. They didn't make a lot of chances, but they were able to manage that game. And then, foreshadowing there, Tucker says Paintsil, should, if he has a chance, hasn't really shown up yet. And if we can activate on him, that's some foreshadowing there. And activate on him and Peck, they could steal this. Well, let's keep it going here. We'll see how that turns out. 1-2 threads and Nando's at 1-2 threads are just showing that Kobe, that 3, signifying that 3-game win streak. And of course, the Lakers 3-peat of yesteryear. LA is our house. Says goal Galaxy. Peck breaks a deadlock. Jovic with the assists. The chemistry between them has improved each game. 1-0 Galaxy. Of course, this was already after the Galaxy had come into the second half and looked a little more lively and got a really, really good chance through JP that JP was found wanting on. Shot straight at McMath and really should have done better, I think, on this one. But then Peck steps up and gets the goal. King Darwin 17 says 29 passes in a row. I'll be at 9 of them. We're back and forth between Delgado and Cerrillo, leading to the goal that gave the LA Galaxy the win. Beautiful team play. Everyone except McCarthy got at least one touch on the ball leading up to the goal. That's lovely. You love to see that. What else we got? The homie Andrew, Nuestra Galaxia Futbolera, says it's another beautiful play and it's another Gabriel Peck goal. Great involvement from Delgado and Jovic. LA Galaxy lead 1-0, 73rd. Jovic and Gabby Peck again. I love it. At South Bay Rays, Alberto E. Lopez says that locker room win picture is going to hit like pure 1980s CAA crack. I never had the distinct pleasure or honor. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, man, I would imagine that it hit really hard when you got to see it. I know that I loved it when I saw it. At Brianna Aguila _ says, sitting here in disbelief that the curse is finally broken. Ha ha. Blue, white, and gold hearts. Yes, blue, white, and gold hearts indeed. Felix at Beep BLOOP says, me after Galaxy beating RSL, and it's the boys from the Workaholics dancing, which I find kind of funny because the lad from Workaholics, the guy with the frizzy red hair, apparently he's a very big LAFC fan. So you know that's why he has his back turned in this graphic right there. The homie at Eli Lester TV, or should I say the burgeoning movie star here, because he was in that Volkswagen commercial, looking off fire, doing his thing. The homie says 4 out of 6 points against the best quote unquote team in the West. Hey, gotta love that, right?
Yep. Season series. When could we say that, Robert? In the last some odd years? Not like a lot.
12 years, something like that. It's been bad. Hey, Gary Cam, what's up? Cigar 7627 says the curse is broken 3 in a row. An emphatic win against RSL. Great game. Oh man, I'm glad you felt like it was a great game. I was just nervous the whole time. I really was. This team, like this game anyway. I was gonna start popping those Tums, man, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna start getting like that acid reflux. Is gonna be bad. But they were able to see it out. Like I said, you made me manifest them getting the win. What else we got over here? Comments to see. Black Galaxy fans, what up? Big Matt says 3 wins in a row, back-to-back clean sheets, 7 goals in 3 matches. We ballin'.
Yes, we are.
El Profe Alex Ruiz is getting vice presidential on him. She says, we did it, Greg. Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. And Greg did it. And then this is I put this one in here, Ananda, because this is one of my favorite movies of all time, Major League. That's called a winning streak. It has happened before. I tried to do my best Lou Brown right there. I don't know if it came out, but yeah, man. This is the winning streak. It's the first winning streak under Greg Vanney, man. Like, where were you when San Jose, after watching Ecuador get spanked by Venezuela for the first time, but Greg got his first win streak. Yeah, baby. Where were you, Ananda?
Right here sitting with you. Well, I was at home, just jumping out of my seat, man. I couldn't believe it. Just like, what was the word that we had a few tweets ago? I forgot what the word was now. Anyways, it was just like, I couldn't believe it happened. So,
we'll tell our children, mijito, cuando el Gregorio ganó la tercera vez.
Es tu mamá, ¿no?
no, that's me when I'm old talking to my grandchildren, bro. At Eleazar House says full-time Galaxy 1 RSL 0, 3 games in 8 days in altitude against the first place team on the road. A depleted lineup, a clean sheet, and 3 wins in a row. Count them, 3 wins in a row. And then
there we go.
Galaxy Mom at Sarah Neal, you know her, you love her. She says this should be a painting. If you are listening to this rather than watching this, this is the boys in the locker room just being hype. They're carrying Tucker. I mean, just everybody looks like they're having the time of their life. I love it. I don't know what Dayon's doing.
Yeah,
somebody in the Twitter sphere said that was the Haktua right there. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So anyway, and then, you know, since now we spoke about the Haktua, so now we gotta speak about the Lord a little bit and get back on the good graces of the Lord. At LA Galaxy Outsider says, God is real with that famous Beyonce meme, and that is in response to Tucker, who we are bringing back for the second time today. Again, he's bringing the Squadcast back this week. Go ahead and check it out. He says, I used to be an atheist, and then the LA Galaxy signed Gabriel Pecky. Yeah, I mean, it's a compelling argument. The brother loves to pray. He's took over for Tyler Boyd as being our God-fearing winger. And yeah, he's converting people already. Childish Blacksino says first 3-game winning streak in the Vanney era, and man, the meme is in tears about it. Tears, it's God, so happy about it. Can't even believe it. LA Galaxy 310 says everyone's talking about Vanney finally winning 3 in a row. No one's talking about the possibility of 4 with San Jose next.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll talk about all that on Thursday for sure. They lost their coach today, Ananda. So things are going to be a little bit dicey for that game. I mean, it's always dicey because it's Cali Clasico, but now
new coach bump.
That new coach bump, who knows?
Yeah.
And then of course, trap game. What you gonna do? But let's talk about that on Thursday. Let's revel in the good times here. At Melvin Rocker says, thanks to Vanney's tactical genius, the LA Galaxy have clinched their 3rd consecutive victory, disrupting Real Salt Lake's unbeaten streak. This team is on fire, more fiery than a jalapeno in a sauna. Prepare your popcorn and brace yourself for more exciting performances. Vanney's tactical genius. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
And then space score core 13 says, dang, that one was hard to get out. Greg to that 3 in a row monkey on his back. It's just a changuito smacking another changuito, just being disrespectful. At VGN Galaxy says,
shout out to
Vanney out crowd cooking up some crazy excuses right now. Oh, 3rd Tucker sighting right here. Vanney wins his 3rd game in a row and amasses a quarter of our 2023 points in 1 week, whilst missing Puig, Pettis, and Brigman, losing Casillas to injury. Delgado and Audio off the bench, rotating the squad with Nussel and Tucker. G's back up. It's a must. We outside. Aye. The homegirl, Leslie J, says, Vanney haters unite. Gang. In response to at Kurt LOL Nalfo says 3 wins in a row. So don't like Vanney though. Throwing up his arms like, Uncle Dishwasher says it took Will 12 months to turn us from an absolute trash fire of an organization with no hope. The tie for first place in the conference past the midway point of the season. Absolutely playing with house money, and my goodness, the long-term future is bright if we can keep them.
Big facts right there.
At Jomi Adinaran says 3 wins in a row in the Greg Vanney area for the LA Galaxy. Thank you, Will Kuntz. The Podfather at Galaxy Podcast, Corner of the Galaxy says, with current results, Galaxy, LFC, and RSL all tied for the top spot in the Western Conference, 37 points. And then the homie at H. has that picture of Kendrick in the crest, big stepping, mother F the big 3. It's just the big G's. Indeed, it is. Man. I'm super.
Vibes are
super.
The vibes are. I think we could just mic drop it there. Our guy show's over. I mean, the vibes are. That's. I mean, crazy, right? Like where this team is at right now. I mean, the vibes are through the roof, and wow, can't believe it.
Well, we could. But we have a few things to get through. I mean, especially for those that didn't actually get to watch this match. Let's break it down for them. Let's start where we'll start. Let's go with this lineup. Ananda, what did you see from this lineup? And of course, Greg had what he had. Keep in mind.
Yeah, big news here was Tucker Lepley, and I'm gonna wax lyrical about this guy really quick, and I'm gonna pull up a tweet that I had. I can't remember the exact words I used, but basically, like, man, he was absolutely impressive in the first half. I think his performance was outstanding. What confidence Greg gave him to give him the start, right? I mean, part of it is he had no choice, but part of it is, he could have, there was maybe another couple of guys that he could have chosen, Ruben Ramos sticking in the midfield or whoever, but nope, he went with Lepley. And I just thought he was so calm, composed for his age, Rob, like really, really technically good on the ball, really secure. He was also very aggressive on the closeouts. Like Greg really likes that, I think, in the CMs, especially in that double pivot. And I thought he did a fantastic job just to sort of hold steady and hold ground and pave the way for Mark Delgado to close out the game, And so that was, for me, the big highlight of the lineup is seeing Tucker Lepley there. It's funny because usually when I see like a young guy getting thrown in a big game like that, I get worried, right? But for some reason, I wasn't. We talked about in CVI that, he looked good in the CVI in the minutes that he did get. And we thought that he probably deserved more minutes. And I was really, really gunning for him and hoping that he would do a really nice job. And man, what a nice job he did in that first half.
Yeah, he did himself a lot of favors by doing a good showing. Playing his part. Like we talk about all the team. I think was it last game where Mauricio played the 20 minutes and he played his part. Same thing with Tucker, man. He played his part, came in, played a fantastic half, and shout out to him. Big things to come from him. Great for showing. John Nelson also got the start, Ananda. I think the best thing you could say about John Nelson is that we really have nothing to talk about because he didn't put a foot forward. I don't really think. I mean, he gets a start, giving Julian out of the rest, very very much needed rest. Martin Cáceres takes Jalen Neal's place, very briefly. Anyway, Emilio Garces made the bench again, and once again, Barry was the only out and out attacker. Were you surprised that Jalen Neal didn't get the start?
No, not really, because I think, again, we're still kind of managing his fitness as he's going back. I mean, he's starting to get a run of games now, which is good. You see his confidence building, Rob. I think we're starting to see Jalen get stronger and stronger every little bit. But, 3 games in 8 days, that's not easy for any MLS team. Both teams were going through that, and you saw the rotations even on their end, on Pablo Mastroeni's team as well. But no, I was not surprised. And you know what? I'm glad that Vanney did all these rotations because, again, Robert, we talk about the depth of this team, and especially in the playoffs, you're going to need some of these depth pieces to come through, when you're sort of in a deadlock or when you're in certain situations in the playoffs. So building these guys' confidence, giving them minutes, I think is really important, as well as keeping the team healthy, fit, and fresh as we go into that stretch going to the playoffs.
Yeah, man, have your biggest horses ready to go for crunch time, right? Well, Greg, again, we've spoken about it. He was pragmatic. He put out what he had. He was, you've said it, he's been risk adverse this year. He didn't risk anybody too much. And so he puts out the lineup that we kind of expect that he would put out. The Galaxy, again, played their third of 3 games in a week. In this one, they do get the 1-0 shutout win. Man, it was big because we spoke about them going into this week and how many points would they get. Well, they got all 9, son. They got all 9.
Crazy.
I mean, Gabriel Pecky, Jovic, again, they combined well for the game-winning goal. And John McCarthy also had a really good game. He made 4 saves, including that hockey-type kick save right after the Galaxy right after the Galaxy's Joseph Paintsil missed that one-on-one. RSL could have come back on the other side and put themselves ahead. But thanks to John McCarthy making one of his 4 saves, it was not to be, and he was able to post a second consecutive shutout. That's the first time the Galaxy have back-to-back clean sheets since April 2022. Ananda, can you believe that, man? 2 years since 2 straight clean sheets.
Nuts.
That's
absolutely
indicative of the defense, right?
There's a lot of stats this year, Robert, that we are, lifting the curse on, so to speak. So this is another one, right? You've been reeling off a lot of stats this year, so I'm happy to hear these stats. Let's keep going, man. I want to keep that trend going for sure.
Yeah. Well, there is a little bit of bad news. I did mention that Martin Cáceres got the start here. However, he would leave in the 22nd minute. There was a shot on goal by RSL, and another great John McCarthy save on this one. Actually, this ball does not get cleared. It gets kind of launched into the air, I believe, by Mickey Yamane. And on this play, Cáceres and Arango go up at the same time, and they both got the worst of it, man. I saw pictures of both of them, and it's stitches for both, huge knocks on their head for both, and they both left the game in the 22nd after entering concussion protocol. But that, I think that kind of changed the complexion of the game. I kind of feel like RSL kind of lost a focal point at that point, and was affected more than the Galaxy was by by Arango and Cáceres leaving. And then, like I said, Jalen comes in and he performs admirably. Whereas Chicho Arango, who is the leading scorer for RSL, he gets taken off. And yeah, I don't know. What do you feel like? Do you feel like it kind of hit RSL?
Oh, absolutely. And I think we'd be lying to ourselves if we didn't think that, oh, Chicho's gone now. This is an opportunity for us to take, right? Like, this isn't the same RSL team. I mean, I forgot how many goal contributions he had, Robert, but I want to guess that he's got like half of their goal contributions at least. So he's a big part of that team. And it makes me wonder too, like, does that make the Galaxy a deeper team? Because, they lose one of their pieces and a main focal point, and they don't look the same team. Meanwhile, we lose Riqui Puig, arguably our best player, and we are firing, right? So it begs the question, but going back to the Chicho point, yeah, I think we'd be lying to ourselves if we said, oh, this is a big opportunity now for us to take. And this game, the 3 points are there. And I even said it at halftime, the 3 points are definitely there for the taking, given that Chicho's not on the other side.
No, you're absolutely right. When they got to the half 0-0, I said anything's possible at this point. Steal a goal. Tucker said it's steal a goal and get Vicky and Paintsil going, activate those guys and you'll sneak one, and they did. Like I said, Gabriel Pecky and Jovic combine again. They're getting kind of good at those little 1-2s, man. Those close quarter little 1-2s, like passing a day on. He kind of like holds it up and then he just lays it off for Pecky. Yeah, that's been the last 3 games for these guys, and it's been lovely. I've been liking it. And it led to the Galaxy snapping RSL's 15-game unbeaten run, and now they're unbeaten. LA is, anyway, unbeaten in their last 5 league matches against RSL dating back to 2022. And it's the first time they win on the road since April 13th in that 3-1 over Vancouver Whitecaps, where they were so good. One of the guys that we probably won't talk about enough today, Ananda, because we do have defending the badge winners, but I do want to show him some love because I know that he's one of your guys. Edwin Cerrillo, man. Just fantastic. What'd you see out of him?
Just the same Edwin that we've seen over the last couple of games. And it's funny, Rob, because if you think about the beginning of the season, I think he started the season really well. Then Gaston came back in the team. He started losing his rhythm just a little bit, I think, just for the lack of consistency, but he's picking it back up again with this consistent run of games. And we've said it on previous shows. He showed us signs in the CVI. I had predicted that he was going to be our most improved player, and he has been an absolutely vital cog in the midfield. I saw Andrew Wiebe there on Apple TV just say he gave him a shout out, saying that he is absolutely essential and crucial to what the Galaxy want to do, especially in that midfield from that deep lying number 6 position.
So calm.
Really strong on the ball, really calm in possession, and he's starting to make better decisions, which he wasn't earlier in the season. Remember, he gave away that pass, I think, a few games ago for that cheap goal. I want to say it was against Chicago. He's starting to learn from those mistakes slowly, and he's starting to become a lot more of a mature player and making better decisions on the pitch. So good stuff, man, from Edwin Cerrillo.
Yeah, he had this one run that reminded me so much of Riqui, where he took the ball and he just advanced it pretty much until the final third, and then he actually, I believe, got fouled or he got dispossessed. It should have been a foul. Can't remember how that one ended up, but it was a very Riqui like the run. He had a fantastic match. I mean, he was basically the elder statesman next to Tucker Lepley. Can you imagine that? Tucker who was making his first start, but Edwin Cerrillo young as well, and he's kind of the guy that Tucker's looking at. He had the hockey assist for the goal here, so he had 41 of 44 complete passes for a 91% pass accuracy rating, and 4 possessions won. Gaston's out, but there's no drop off in quality because of Edwin. So shout out to him. And like I mentioned, Tucker made his first MLS start, and in that first start in the half, he completed 17 of 18 passes for a 95% pass accuracy rating. And man, we've already told you about the goal. one of the few chances that the Galaxy got in this match. But Ananda, nothing's really going to tell us, the story of this match, kind of like more than the sets, right? So go ahead and hit us on those.
Yep. So I'll pull those up right now. Very, very interesting. So for the audio listeners, again, I will narrate this as best as possible. But really interesting, Rob, because if you look at the stats, we shouldn't have won this game, really, right? 58% possession, RSL to 42, LA Galaxy, 1.02 expected goals for RSL versus 0.59. Pretty tight in that department. To be fair, the Galaxy, I think, did a really, really good job, being the fact that they were on the road, limiting RSL's chances in terms of the quality of chances, because yes, RSL had 15 shots to our 8, but shots on target pretty even, Rob. 4 shots on target for RSL to 3 for the LA Galaxy. They had 2 big chances and they missed both of our chances, or their chances. We also missed our one big chance. That was JP's one-on-one versus McMath, which, by the way, shout out to McMath. That was a really good save, but I think JP would want that one back for sure, given his quality.
Absolutely.
And then
I wonder if one of those big chances was that Gomez, kind of like the half volley off the top crossbar.
Yeah, that might have been one, and then the Julio one with that kick save. John McCarthy looking like a prime Kelly Rudy there. But yeah, so, and then accurate passes in terms of the passes connected. Again, usually we see the Galaxy control and dominate a game with their possession. In this case, it was not the case. 489 accurate passes from RSL to 339 for the Galaxy. So Rob, if you look at the stats, it's very interesting. And this is going to be a larger conversation for later, but LA Galaxy's game plan, I'd said it very briefly. I'd said, Rob, I hope Greg plays on the counterattack in this game. Lots of reasons why. There was, rotating lineup. We're playing away from home against a really, really good team. But it's almost like the Galaxy said, you know what? Invite pressure. We're going to relinquish possession to you guys, but we're going to hit you on the break, and we're going to capitalize on those moments in the game, because we believe that we have enough quality to capitalize on the chances. And the one chance that we got, we definitely did. So hats off.
Well, 1 out of 2 for big chances. You can't hit on that 50% accuracy right there. But yes, JP will want that back. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at some match facts here for the Galaxy. In 9 games dating back to May 5th, the Galaxy hold a record of 5-1-4 in the last 9 matches. 17 goals for, 10 against. Dejan continues to play lights out in those 9 games. He has 8 goal contributions, 5 and 3, that is. And then Gabriel Pecci has 10 goal contributions, 4 goals and 6 assists during that run. So both of those guys stepping up majorly in this last stretch of 9 games. During the 3-game win streak, dating back to June 15th or the last week, the Galaxy has outscored opponents 7-2. So the defense is also stepping up, as evidenced by those 2 shutouts in that week. In 11 road matches, the Galaxy have a 4-3-4 record, 16 goals for, 14 against. Dejan doing this thing at home and away in 9 matches played on the road. He has 7 goal contributions. And then in 5 matches in all appearances dating back to May 29th, he has 7 goal contributions and an assist in 3 consecutive matches dating back to June 15th. I mean, I think if we were doing a defending the badge per month, I think just for consistency's sake, Dejan would probably take it, just for him or Gabriel Pecci for the last month, right?
He's up there. Yep.
For the way they've been playing.
Arguably, Diego Fagundes has been our best player as well, Rob. Last one. I mean, this is a good problem to have. This is a good problem to have.
Yeah. And the Galaxy are still unbeaten when he starts a match. Diego Fagundes, that is 11 games this season where he starts, and the Galaxy is 6-0-5 in those 11 matches. And I had a chance to ask him about, what was the most special part of this victory, and ever the nice guy, man. He definitely said the 3-game win streak. I mean, he said it was big for them, big for Greg, and it was lovely to not it was lovely to see them kind of like acknowledge the fact that it was big for Greg and big up him kind of. So they said that they're having fun. Man, that's huge.
I mean, look at this picture, Rob. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, that I think that picture just that says it all right there, right? Just where this team is at, the camaraderie, the closeness. Look at the whole coaching staff. That Will Kuntz is always there. I mean, this picture says it all. And as I flash on the screen there, it was the whole team, man. Complete team effort for this game. From man 1 to how many subs came in? Like man 15 or the 16th guy, whoever came off the bench. I mean, all 16 players, all 15 players had their hand in this game. The most complete team effort I've seen. I mean, everyone played their roles to a T, and that is, wow, that's a really big achievement, I think. That's a lot. That says a lot about a team when that happens, for sure.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like anybody's like on an ego thing either. I mean, like we mentioned, Tucker put in a good shift. Like it was his first start. He might have been expecting to go longer, but Greg was like, "Look, man, we need you for a half, and that's what we need you for." And he looks stoked to be in that picture and then get the start. We talked about Martin, getting those stitches and putting his body on the line to make sure that ball doesn't end up in the back of the net, and he getting the worse for wear from it. We spoke about McCarthy and his saves and him getting the second straight clean sheet. We already talked about John Nelson. He there's nothing to say, and that's wonderful.
Solid.
Like he just solid. It was so good. Like, I mean, I don't remember like even hearing the announcers being like, "Oh, Nelson's in trouble" or "Nelson's this." It's like, no, it was just like he played a tidy game. Mo Cuevas again, just doing what Greg asks. He played 20 minutes last game. He's playing out of position this game. Shout out to him. Shout out to the whole team. Delgado coming into the second half, and after all the miles he's put on his legs this season, and helping the team see out this win, protecting the back four and getting the shutout, and 2 clean sheets in a row. What do you think is causing this turnaround on for the defense, man?
I think tactically, again, I look at these things tactically. I think it's very simple, Rob. It's that double pivot. It's that very slight shift in the formation, but the impact that's caused, I think, is huge. I think he realized that, when you don't have a guy like Riqui out there, I think you need a little bit more balance. And, Diego has been really just a more than serviceable, I think, an amazing number 10, just like exploiting his quality. Again, he is 13 years in the league now. He's 29. He's not going to be your fastest, but he's still got a lot of technical quality. He's very smart. Greg's always talked about Diego understanding his system, right? He's very, very familiar with Greg's type of system, and just putting 2 mobile DMs behind him, Robert, I think that's unlocked everything. It gives us more balance when we lose possession. We've got guys back there sort of snuffing out the opposition chances. The one big thing that I see, man, with this formation especially is just not only the balance, but Greg's talked a lot about predictability and this idea of positional play, right? And so when you have, Greg's asking him to cover spaces on the pitch that are familiar to them, and they're not taken out of their comfort zone necessarily. And so when everyone's playing their position, when everyone's asked to mark a territory, and that is part of positional play, the distances on the pitch get a little shorter, the distance from defense to midfield, and the distance from midfield to forward, right? So the distances get more compact, and by default, we're more organized. So by Greg's instructions, but also by the formation by default, like we've looked really, really solid and really organized tactically. And, that's a credit to the players, but that's also credit to Greg and recognizing that and deploying that. And man, we're seeing the fruits of that for sure.
Hey, you and I.
You and I.
Gary
Cambron. There you go. That's the first one.
Got me. Yeah, he got me. We, if X is to be believed, both know that Greg has nothing to do with this victory or any of the victories.
I'll hit on that later. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Oh, no, none of the victories. No, none of them. He has nothing to do with anything. Nothing.
I'll address that later.
Anyway, so Yeah, no, you're right. The double pivots has led to the balance here that this team has, and it's translating into wins with some of their biggest pieces out. 3-game win streaks. Yeah. To be exact. So what's the turning point? Is this a turning point for the team? Ananda, like they finally got over that mental hump. They got the 3-game win streak, hopefully 4 incoming. I mean, because I think we figured it out that to actually win MLS Cup, you need to win 4 in a row, depending on if you get that first round bye or not. But you got to get that next one, man. Bigger and better now, progression. But with this 3-game win streak, do you think it's a turning point?
Well, I hate to answer your question with a question, but I kind of want to rephrase it, Rob, and hear you, because you've been asking all the questions, and I do want to hear your take on this. But not so much is it a turning point, but like, how big of a win is this? Like, what does this mean to this team, like breaking that 3-game win streak curse? Because I definitely have some thoughts on it, but like, what does that mean to not only the team, but even to us fans as well? Or are we overblowing it? Is this hyperbole right now? Are we over like emphasizing this?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, it's a stepping stone. It hadn't happened before. Is it in effect like a milestone that counts for anything? No. Are they going to get a trophy for it? No. Are they going to, next year, be like, remember, this is the day that we got the 3-game win streak. I mean, in the larger scheme of things, it is not the begin all and end all. However, in a very micro way, it is huge because it demonstrates to them that they can win those 3 games in a row. Again, they got to get those 4 to get MLS Cup. It was a mental thing as well. They had a couple opportunities last year to get it. It didn't happen. And every time they went into that 3rd game, they put up a stinker. Not only did they lose, but they put up a stinker. This year, they had it a couple times. They didn't get it. And both those games, Austin and Chicago, were just terrible matches as well. So yeah, man, it's huge for the mentals. I mean, you got to get your mind and your body right. Mentally, it is huge. I can't speak for the players, but I just know what I see in those pressers afterwards. Them talking to each other, the way they interact, the way they speak to Greg, the way they hang out. Or interact with Greg. It's a team that looks together, and it looks like they're all focused and pulling for the same thing. And you see that, and things like this, 3-game win streaks, winning for the first time against Seattle after however long, God knows how many years, going and winning in SKC for the first time in how many years, being able to bring these games back from 2-0 and win, things like that. Again, mentals, and these are psychological boosts that are going to help you, towards the end of the year. Of course, you can't get that 4-game win streak unless you get that 3-game win streak. And now they set themselves up for that 4-game win streak. And imagine they get that 4-game win streak going into El Tráfico, a very big El Tráfico against LAFC. And then they beat LAFC. Now you're sitting on a 5-game win streak. And now you're looking at an LA Galaxy who hasn't lost in 5 games, who just took out their rival, who will probably be sitting on first place at that point, as sole possession of first place. And then MLS is like, wow, the sleeping giant is awake.
Yeah, and like Gary Cameron said, sky's the limit, right? Sky's the limit. But Robert, just to close that topic out, man, and I'm hearing it. You didn't say it necessarily, but I'm hearing it in just sort of your delivery and how you're talking about this team. It's giving us belief, and that's the thing that I wanted to hit on. It's giving the fans belief. It's giving us It's almost like flashing us that Superman symbol and saying, "Hey guys, this is a symbol of hope." It's giving us hope and belief that not only is this team starting to get over mental humps and it's starting to make the team believe, I think, in themselves, more than any.
My humps.
It's starting to make the team believe in themselves more than anything, and also believe in Greg and his philosophy and his system and just everything that the front office and the coaching staff are doing. So I think the one word that yeah, I think the one word that sticks out to me is belief. More so definitely in the fan base. Like, it's starting to turn some of the non-believers into believers slowly but surely.
And I know that there's going to be unbelievers no matter what this team does, whether it's outside of the fan base or whether it's inside of the fan base. I mean, there's still going to be. I'm sure for a long time, Arsenal fans were. I'm sure you know them, Ananda. Like, where even when the team was winning, they were just like so miserable about it that they couldn't enjoy it. I mean, I know that there's going to be some Galaxy fans out there that are going to be like that as well. Even if the team is winning, they're going to find fault in it. They're going to still talk about Greg, but you got to enjoy this, man. I mean, this is a good thing, and like you said,
absolutely,
it's causing this belief within the fan base
and the media
Yeah, it's having people believe, like you said, not just the fan base, but the media. Again, this is a media that everyone picked the Galaxy not even to make the playoffs. I believe we picked them to be like 9th or 10th at the beginning of the year. We'll go ahead and have to fact check that, because we did talk about where these folk were placing the Galaxy, and not a lot of them. I think the Sash Tommy Bogart was one of the only people to be like, no, they'll make the playoffs. But yeah. he said like 4th. Weeby was definitely one of the people that was like, nah, they won't. But he believes now. He says, are the LA Galaxy Supporter Shield contenders? Yes, and they're doing it without Riqui Puig. Chat. What's up, y'all? That's the question for you guys now. Yeah. Now that you've seen what you've seen through 20 games, Galaxy tied for first place, 3 games in a row, 2 shutouts in a row, them playing some good ball without some big pieces. Are they legitimate Supporter Shield contenders? They're 4 points off the top in Miami. So we want to hear what you have to say. If you think they are, tell us why. If you think they aren't, tell us why. But are the LA Galaxy legitimate Supporter Shield contenders? Ananda, what's your take? Do you think yes or no?
I mean, mathematically they are. Are they going to win Supporter Shield? Maybe, maybe not. You're probably leaning towards the not, because there's a lot of teams bunched up on the top, right? You've got Inter Miami, Cincinnati, etc., and then you've got, of course, the 3 Western Conference teams. So there are a lot of horses in the race. But I mean, Robert, mathematically, we're in contention, and that fact cannot be denied. So by default, yes, like we are contenders. We are contenders. I don't think we're the favorites, but we're contenders.
Oh. We're not. The Galaxy aren't the favorites. It's like Kendrick says. I mean, it's all right that people don't like the West Coast. It's fine. You know what? Like, Galaxy not the favorites. It's all right. People love to hit the Galaxy. What we do like to see is people like Weeby, acknowledging the fact that this team is doing good things and
trying to get street props.
That's starting to get that respect that they deserve for the game. And of course, I've asked the team about this a couple times. Do you guys listen to these rankings? They're like, no, we just do our thing. So I think that's more for us. We get upset about it. I mean, we did go in on Sasha at the beginning of the year, and he's one of the people that's come around too. So shout out to them. But let us know if you think the Galaxy are legitimate Supporter Shield contenders. Ananda, what was your moment of the match?
Well, it's not what you think, but and this is, again, I want to say this, Robert, because this to me shows like the progression of the team, even just over the last week, right? So my moment of the match was not the goal. It wasn't even Greg Vanney's 3-game winning streak, which I think LA Galaxy here, I flashed it on the screen, showed as well. But Robert, in the 92nd minute, injury time, Arcel has a corner kick, and we have not been good this year on corner kicks or set pieces, etc. And I said to myself, okay, this is one of those things where this is going to be a make or break situation. This is a learning moment for this team. It's their Achilles heel, set piece, injury time, clear it out, and you win this game. And what do? Header out, we, diffuse the situation, and we win the game. And to me, that more than anything, Rob, because we know what the deficiencies have been with this team, that shows me this team is progressing. That was a big, big, big moment for me when I watched this game, because I was a little nervous, but I said, you know what? No, I feel good about this. I think this team has learned over the first half of the season, like Greg Vanney talked about a couple of press conferences ago. And they did it, man. They did it. They did it.
This you said you were a little nervous. I was all nervous, and you were like trying to keep me level, man. You were nervous too, dog. Look at that. But I appreciate
you
I appreciate you keeping me on the level. Because yeah, I was
nervous,
sweating it.
Nervous but confident. But you know what they showed me They showed me that they are learning this year. So that gives us hope. That gives us belief as fans.
My moment of the match was the goal. It was nice to see Pecky and Dayon
Scott agrees
hook
with
up
you
again. Yeah. It was a nice goal, man. I mean, Pecky's gonna, as the more he goes on with this team, I mean, he's getting more and more comfortable, and he's gonna score these type of goals. I mean, it was really a goal from nothing. I mean, RSL, I mean, they probably thought like, oh, we have this covered. They got nothing out of this, and then all of a sudden they're down 1-0, and all of a sudden they lose this match. And so for me, that's the moment of the match. For the Galaxy, it was the 3-game win streak. And then Studio says the 3 in a row is taking away from the fact we went to a rival and took them down. Absolutely. Eli brought it up. I mean, this was supposed to be the best team in the West, if not one of the better teams in MLS. And they actually went out there and nullified them. It was lovely.
The naysayers are going to say without a Chicho-less RSL, but you know what? Like they always say in football, you got to beat what's in front of you. Look what happened in Chicago. We didn't beat what was in front of us, right? So you got to take care of business, and we sure did.
The Bears were who we thought they were. Standings. Where are we in the standings, guys? Through 20 matches, the Galaxy hold a 10-3-7 record. They have 27 goals given up and 36-4. They now have one more point than their entire points total from last year. Can you believe that, Ananda? Best start under Greg Vanney. This is Galaxy's third best start in club history. They have those 37 points that have them tied on first place with LAFC and RSL. Of course, LAFC lead on they hold the tiebreaker over the Galaxy, so they lead in first place at the moment. The Galaxy are in 5th place in the Supporter Shield standing right now. They're tied 5th. Tied 4th, actually 5th. But they are only 4 points back from Miami. They're averaging 1.85 points per game. And speaking of, people, those pundits, the Galaxy are now ranked 4th in the MLS Power Rankings, up from 6th. So, they I believe at the beginning of the year, they were like as low as 21 or 19, even after the tie against Miami. I believe they got to like 14th or something like that. So this is, again, people looking at the Galaxy and being like, okay, they might be the real deal. Ananda, let's get into some defending the badge. We have 4 candidates here. We have 2 from the back line, Maya Yoshida and Jalen Neal. Yoshida had a clean sheet, had a 90% pass accuracy rating, 4 passes into the final third, had 4 duels won, and a team high 4 clearances. His partner in the defense after the 22nd minute was Jalen Neal, who helped his partner Yoshida get that clean sheet. Had a 94% pass accuracy rating, 3 passes into the final third, 3 clearances, 1 duel won, and more than anything, he was great on Andres Gomez. Andres Gomez couldn't really get that much going. I mean, he got that one off the crossbar, but other than that, Jalen Neal did fantastic on him. And then you had the guy who set up the assist, an assist for the 3rd match running, Dejan Jovic. He had 2 chances created, 2 clearances, 2 recoveries, 5 duels won, and he was fouled twice. Then Gabriel Pecky with his goal gets the win for the Galaxy. His game-winning goal, 6th of the season. For his efforts, he makes the MLS team of the match week. He makes the bench there. 5 duels won, 6 recoveries, 2 tackles, and 2 fouls won. Ananda, really quick, we've spoken a little bit about Joseph Paintsil getting that chance early in the second half. Do you think that maybe JP is starting to get overtaken by Gabriel Pecky?
I don't know about overtaken. Look, the reality is JP's just coming back from injury. I don't think he's 100%. He's probably like 70, 80%. I think when JP starts getting a run of games, his confidence will get going. We saw that with even Bouanga in the beginning of the season. Like, he wasn't on fire. You got to get these players, especially goal scorers, you've got to get like games and game after game and sort of 90 minutes on a consistent basis to start getting your flow. And I feel like JP will get that back at some point. But I don't know, but I think they're probably neck and neck. I mean, honestly, as long as they're both performing and they're both doing well, I don't really care who's, one or two, right? I think I'm appreciating the fact that we have two fantastic players at the DP position.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I would have liked to see JP score that goal, though. However, who knows? There is that old adage: they scored too early, right?
Peak too soon, right? Or something like that.
Ooh,
I think that's what Hammer always says. Yeah.
Leonardo Ruiz says JP posted on social media today about letting go of the past and moving forward. He probably dealing with personal stuff, and now he's ready to move on.
Could be.
Well, whatever crosses he's carrying, hopefully somebody picks up that burden for him. Shout out to JP. Man, you are unbreakable. Go get him, champ. So we already have some people in the chat getting in there, letting us know who they think their winner is. But guys, you have your 4 candidates. Let us know who you think won this defending the badge. Ananda,
why don't you go first, man? Why don't you go first? I want to hear yours.
Do I have to?
Yeah. I think te toca esta vez. I think we argued about this last time, so we were bickering.
You're not gonna like it.
What do you mean? ¿Qué pasó?
Because my pick for defending the badge is Greg Vanney and his coaching staff.
No way. All right, let's do it. Let's get on our soapboxes, Papa. That was mine also. You see, I got so excited the mic popped up on me. Wait. Look at Leo. Actually, Vanney for managing the players to a will. You know what? Let's do it, man. I want to hear your argument for this because I thought the same as well. 100%.
Well, this all started with the tweet I put out. Like,
I remember. I know this. Yes.
A week ago, where I brought up some facts and figures relating to Greg Vanney's performance, and the team's performance, and saying how Vanney should be credited with the turnaround. I believe the phrase I used was "give him his flowers." People got upset about it. I didn't know flowers can make people so mad. But yeah, people got upset about it. People just straight up responded like, no. Some people out there will have you believe that Greg Vanney has nothing to do with anything that's going on, that it's Will Kuntz. And yes, Will Kuntz has a big part of what's going on to do. I mean, he brought a lot of these players in. I mean, he's credited with starting to turn this organization around. But he's not doing it by himself, man. I mean, Greg Vanney is putting out the team. He's setting the tactics, and he's got this team playing the way he wants them to. I mean, this team balance, this team harmony, this team that's going out there and getting these 3 wins without the two big pieces on here. I mean, I think it's just very disingenuous for people to be out there saying that Greg Vanney has nothing to do with this, because those same people will get on Greg Vanney and want to shout Vanney out or fire Greg Vanney as soon as a team drops a match or ties a match that they feel like they should have won. It's definitely Vanney out. So the diversity needs to be true. If the team is playing well, let's give the man his flowers. Let's say, hey, Greg Vanney, you know what? You haven't been it the past couple years, but you've turned it around, and now you have this team playing well.
Yeah,
I mean,
like Tony said, give credit. give credit where it's due, right? Give credit where it's due. And yeah, I just want to start with this, man. I think, I hope we clip this. I really don't care. But essentially, just saying that we are winning despite Greg Vanney, I think is, for me personally, is disingenuous and borderline disrespectful. I just don't think that logically makes any sense. Again, as you rightly put it, I don't think you can pick and choose who gets credit to win, who gets credit for the wins, and who gets credit for the losses. But Robert, I will put forth an argument on what Greg Vanney's actually done if we want exhibit A, B, and C, right? But if you look at just this game, I mean, Robert, defending the badge. So going back to our original conversation, because we don't want to get too high on our soapboxes here, but we, like Tony said, give credit where credit's due. I've always seen defending the badge as part of that too, is about like resilience in the face of adversity and sort of turning doubters into believers. We've had the same conversation about Dayon. Remember Dayon coming into the season, people were like, oh man, we should trade him. I don't think he's a number one forward, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Dayon's starting to turn us. He's starting to shut all of us up, including myself. I had a little bit of doubt in Dayon, right? And Greg Vanney starting to do the same thing, man. I mean, you look at, in the face of all the Vanney outers, all the naysayers, he gets his 3-game win streak and probably the most unlikely stretch of games. Rob, looking to that 3-game stretch, would you look at this part of the schedule and say, you know what, we're going to get
Absolutely
our first
not.
3-game win streak there, right?
Absolutely not.
Against a tough NYCFC team. Kansas City, yes, they're dropping like flies, but you know what? They're always a tough. I mean, Peter Vermees is always a well-coached team, and then RSL, a number one team in the Western Conference, right? And then Robert, what did I say before? I think we had this conversation a couple of pods ago. For me, the mark of a good head coach, I judge him on 2 aspects. One is coaching and player development. Do they make players better? Rob, has he made Cerrillo better? Yes, he's the most improved player for me this year. Has he made Julian Aude better? Arguably our most consistent defender of the season. Has Dayon been a more complete striker than he's ever been with the LA Galaxy? Absolutely. And the last thing is Peck better now than he was at game 1 or game 4 whenever he started the season with us? Absolutely. He's fit and firing. So for me, Greg's made these players better, right? Not the players themselves. I mean, it's part of the system too. Then the other piece about coaching is man management. I talked about game management and man management. Rob, when's the last time we saw a coach develop young players and give them a chance? Look at Johnny Perez. Look at Mo Cuevas saying, Mo, I'm going to trust you with these 20 minutes, but I see your position. I know you're a natural defender, but you know what? I'm going to put you in the game instead of JP, who, by the way, was struggling in the match. We saw him miss that one-on-one, and say, you know what? Gomez, he's been their only attacking weapon. I'm going to ask you to double down on Gomez every single time so that we manage this game and see this out. Mo Cuevas did an impeccable job. That he absolutely helped his fullback, his Julian Aude, with that. And so again, these are things that, like, management wise, he's being a good man manager, giving his young players confidence and faith, and giving them, like, this is your job, and them understanding their roles. To me, Rob, that's all good signs of being a good man manager. And you know what? We've got to give him his flowers. And I just gave you exhibit A, B, C, and D of why I thought Greg Vanney deserves defending the badge, really, for this game and for the last week.
Yeah, if there was again like a defending the badge weekly version, monthly version, whatever it is. I mean, Greg Vanney's been doing his thing. I'm a person that was on this very pod last year arguing against him. And yeah, I mean, he's turned this team around. And again, it's very much a Will and Greg Vanney and his staff kind of thing, and not only just Will, the entire scouting department. I mean, Mikey Stevens was in the press box the other day, and getting to hear him talk about the things that they're doing or the things that they're facing was very enlightening. So congratulations to the staff, really. I mean, they have this team turned around. I mean, somebody put it in the tweet. I mean, they credited Will Kuntz, but last year this team was a dumpster fire. This year it is challenging for the supporter shield. What a difference a year makes.
Absolutely. And you know what? The other thing too is, I'm not Vanney in or Vanney out. I'm LA Galaxy in. And whoever is the head coach, I'm going to support them until they give me enough reason not to believe in them, like, just drudgery and just being horrible like we were last year. But now you're starting to see the healthy signs of an organization. And again, I'm not fully, even me, like saying all that, I'm not fully convinced yet until I see it in the playoffs, right? That's the next step
No,
for
because
Greg Vanney, but
job's not done.
job's not done. Exactly. And so I still hold this team to that high standard, but you know what? Not giving him credit when credit due, like I said, I think is a little bit disingenuous, and I have to give credit where credit due. And I'm glad a lot of people in the chat are also eating an S ton of crows, and they're changing their thoughts, which, by the way, as fans, guys, we are allowed to do. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Like we've all spoken about how games have phases. The season has phases too. Like we just spoke about. Did we think that Greg was going to get his first 3-game win streak in this stretch of games? No. There might be a stretch of games coming up where, we're like, these games should be wins, and they're not. But then again, we get into those reactions, where it's Vanney out and stuff like that. I think at this point, we just got to let him ride out the year and judge him by what happens at the end of the year. Hopefully, we are judging him on the LA Galaxy's 6th MLS Cup. But Ananda, you and I again got me champ. Exactly.
Gary.
That's 2 for me. Anyway, we have both picked Greg Vanney and his coaching staff for the Defending the Badge. They're first for the year, but it doesn't matter what we pick because the people have spoken. The people, they have a voice, and their voice shall be heard. And with 22 million votes this week, Gabriel Peck wins Defending the Badge with 75% of the votes. So, Lacuna Galaxians, LA Galaxy fans, what's coming up after RSL? It's another Cali Clásico. Like I said, it's the 101st edition of El Cali Clásico. That means the Galaxy is still on the road. They'll be in Northern California on Saturday, June 22nd at Sanford Stadium at 7:30 to be exact. There's going to be an awesome fireworks show afterwards, so stick around for that. Their next quote-unquote home game is El Tráfico, Rose Bowl edition on the 4th of July. Of course, that one takes on special significance right now with the position of both LA teams. But the LA Galaxy's first home game back at the digs is the 7th of July on Sunday against Minnesota at 7:30. So, Ananda, we have this schedule up right here, and it shows very difficult matches for the Galaxy coming up. I mean, the next 6 are doozies. Even that Dallas match isn't an easy stroll. It's away. They got that new coach bump as well. These next 6 matches again are going to show us who this team is. They're in first place right now. Let's see where they are at the end of this 6-game stretch. And I think that's pretty much it for us. Ananda, anything else to add before we get on out of here?
I of course want to always give last word to chat, but man, chat, you guys are on fire today. Well, let's see. Leo, at the NYC game, when the starting lineup got announced, I immediately thought RSL, he was going to go for the draw, but then the RSL lineup came out and I was surprised. Oh, he's going for the 3-peat. I mean, we've talked about sort of rotations and how Greg has managed a squad, right? I think that what you're starting to see, at least for me, I'm going to speak for myself here, is that whatever lineup he's starting to put out now, especially with that tactical formation shift a little bit, I'm confident in our players. And even guys like Tucker Lepley, like you would think that I even said it before the game. I was like, I'm really hoping for Tucker. I've seen good things with him, and I hope that this game isn't too big for him. But man, I just feel confident every time we put out that starting lineup. And you know what? Looking at that stretch, Rob, yes, it is going to be tough. I'm looking at that Minnesota game, that Thursday, Sunday turnaround. Oof, that's going to be so rough. But you know what? I'm going to be confident as well. I think that if there was a slip up, I think it would be that game. But hey, man, I'm feeling confident. We're riding high. And long may this continue, Bubba. Long may this continue.
Long may it continue indeed. Of course, your LA Galaxy go up to the north to face their oldest rival, the San Jose Earthquakes, over the weekend, where they are shooting for their 4th straight victory. Man, let's go. Let's put all the good vibes into the world for the LA Galaxy to go ahead and get that win so they can go into El Tráfico Rose Bowl edition riding high, looking for their 5th win in a row. But before that, they got to get that win against San Jose and the Cali Clásico. We, of course, will bring you that preview on Thursday. So keep it locked here. Thursday at 9 p.m. We'll be bringing you that San Jose preview. But until then, hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us once again. We appreciate everyone in the chat. Like Ananda said, you guys were on fire today. I hope you guys are loving what you're seeing from your LA Galaxy. And until we meet again, one thing left to say, right?
Yes, sir.
G's up. First place. Yeah.